and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacey, and like stated in my first video, if you have been able to watch that, I'm going to be chatting to you today about my miscarriage. I'm definitely in a lot better headspace and place at the moment to be able to talk about that compared to what I was going back a month ago. So yeah, I hope that this video provides some help and support for you that if you're currently experiencing or have experienced a miscarriage, even if you're someone very close to you that has experienced a miscarriage, and this video helps you in how to approach the situation. I hope that this helps with that. So obviously I'm not a medical professional in all means. I'm only going to give you tell you my story and my point of view about what's happened. Please, if you do think you are suffering a miscarriage, please go to your doctor or to your local emergency room, because like what happened to me might not be the same experience that you're going to be having or have had. Anyway, so let's jump into it. Yeah, so we've been trying for going on probably about 2 years now. And so I've taken a lot of pregnancy tests. So I've done the 2-week wait after you're meant to ovulate, and I never got the positive at all. I've probably spent hundreds of dollars on pregnancy tests, just the hopes to see that that second pink line. Like it's amazing what that second pink line, just waiting and hoping to see that line can do to you mentally and emotionally. So I went to see a gynecologist. First off, it was because I was experiencing a lot of abdomen pain and stuff like that. This was well before my miscarriage. This was probably in 2019. So this was in 2018 that I saw my gyno. She sent me for some tests. Basically, the pains weren't anything. She didn't think it was endometriosis or anything like that, so that was absolutely great. I got tested and everything was fine. I had to go for a test at the hospital just to make sure that my uterus lining and fallopian tubes and all that were looking good, and that I actually had a good egg count, which I do. What they said, I had absolutely pristine ovaries and uterus, so that was great to know. But we were still struggling to get pregnant until August. Sorry, I've got some notes down here, just some dates so that I can remember, because it was pretty full on and emotional when it had happened. So just so that I know, so that I'm giving you the proper information. So it was August the 20th of this year, 2019. So since my period was due that day, I just thought, oh, let's just do a pregnancy test, see what happens, see if, I highly doubt it's going to be that double line, because it just, you get, after so many tests, you get that negative thought about, that you know in your heart that it's going to be a negative pregnancy test. And for you ladies that who understand this will know what I mean. I took the test, and literally, I don't even, it was instantaneous that the second pink line showed up. I reckon it was literally as soon as urine had actually gone over onto that first line, the indicator, that it just was lit up like bright pink. So I ran out to my husband and was like, "Do you want some good news?" And he goes, "You're kidding." And I went, "No." And I showed him, and he had a bit of a cry. I think I was a bit more in, we're both in shock really, but I felt I didn't cry as what I did when we thought we were. I thought I was pregnant earlier this year, but it was false positive. We were pregnant. I got the test that confirmed it. My levels were increasing, so that was fantastic. I actually, as you can see, I'm a little bit overweight, not just a little bit, but so I had a few health problems as well. So my thyroid was low. So they, after the first round of blood tests that you get, they can tell you, if there's anything wrong, if you have, if there's your diabetes and all that sort of stuff, that they can tell with the first pregnancy, for the first blood test. The second blood test, they can tell you that. So I had a low thyroid count. Basically, I had to go onto just some thyroid tablets just to help boost that up, because it made you lethargic as well. So, and because when the baby's growing, the baby's obviously taking any vitamins and nutrients and anything that you have, it takes, and to be able to grow, which is, it's just life basically. So that was easy to do. I then found out I had diabetes, which is that was a roller coaster, because first it was, "Oh no, it's just gestational diabetes," and "No, definitely you have diabetes," and then back to gestational, and I've just had a blood test, so I'm waiting for that one back, but my doctors highly doubt, or this other doctor who I saw, because my levels have been so low, that it was definitely due to being pregnant that I had diabetes. So that was a roller coaster on its own. So I've got a very big list of things that I had to do, and I was already taking Elevate. I just had to started taking more folic acid, so that was an extra 5 mils on top of the Elevate that had already been taking anyway. So it was good. That so they recommend that even before you start trying, that you are on Elevate for at least 3 months, because it builds up the extra vitamins and just to stop different things in your body to help with the development of your baby. So that was fine. I had to start doing pricking my finger and testing my blood sugar count, and that was a whole ordeal in itself, because I was a whole big diet change, and it was just very stressful on its own, just trying to figure out what you can eat, what you can't eat, and then and then you got to also put into point what you can and can't eat when you're pregnant as well. So it sort of even limits your food intake even more, that I found anyway. But anyway, so that was all good. I did have to start taking some insulin only if my levels went over 7. I only had to take, it was only a very small amount, and it was only after I had to wait 2 hours after food, after eating, and then take the insulin if it was over 7. So that was all good. And then so he told me that I was 4 weeks, they estimated. Because if you don't know, they add an extra 2 weeks on, which makes no sense really, because 100% you cannot get pregnant in the first 2 weeks before you've ovulated. So I don't understand, because they start, your cycle starts the day of your first expected period. So if you can't, so I mean, there might be some people out there who have, but all my research and all my knowledge, you cannot get pregnant in that 2-week period, as in before you've ovulated, because when the egg is released, you only have a 12 to 24 hour window of opportunity in order to conceive. So it's very before I even started trying to get pregnant, there was no way that I actually I didn't realize so much went into getting pregnant, and also the just the the information and knowledge that you have to have, and that there's such a short window to actually conceive. It's crazy. But anyway, so they scheduled me for an ultrasound at 8 weeks. So that was on Friday, September the 13th. So I went in there, and the ultrasound tech said, so how many weeks are you? Do they think? And I said, well, he thinks I'm 8 weeks. So it could, that's what they're going off. And so they started doing the ultrasound, and I had this really funny feeling from the word go. I wasn't letting myself get excited. I was excited. I mean, look, I went out and brought a crib, a cot, and because we've just been waiting for so long to be able to have a baby, and of course you're gonna get excited and stuff like that, but yeah. So it just had this really funny feeling from the word go that I'm not gonna get overexcited until I see the heartbeat on the ultrasound. And yeah, it was, I don't know what it was. It was just a very funny feeling I had the whole time. I never had any pains. Obviously I had a little bit of cramps, just because obviously your uterus, implantation. So when the egg is going into your uterus wall, and also when the baby's growing, it's expanding and stuff like that. So I did have a little bit of cramps. I never had any spotting. There was literally no signs of that anything was going wrong, and even in the doctor's eyes there was nothing that, yeah, it just happened. Anyway, back to me having the ultrasound. So they did the external ultrasound first, and he goes, so are you sure they think that you're 8 weeks? And I said, well, to me, I reckon I'm 6, because I know when around the dates that we did the deed in order to conceive, around the ovulation times. So in my eyes, I was only 6 weeks, but in their eyes, I was 8 weeks, which, yeah, anyway. Um, and he goes, oh, maybe you are a little bit early, like, because obviously, the earlier you are when you have an ultrasound, they're not going to see much at all. And then he said, look, is it okay if we do an internal, just to see, like, make sure that, because I saw on the screen I definitely had an egg sac. There was definitely a sac there, but you couldn't see a fetal pole. I then they had the internal, and then and in that there was no sorry there was no sorry so there was no actual you couldn't see, there was no fetal pole again, so they obviously can't give you any answers, and so I left. That was on a Friday. Obviously, that was on a Friday. I said that just before, and couldn't get any answers until Monday. Anyway, I then called my husband and had a breakdown and cried and said, I don't know if it's too early or what's going on, but they couldn't see a heartbeat. But, like, you know, not to get too worried yet, because, you know, I could have been just a little bit, it could have been early. Anyway, Monday rolls around, and I work at Coles in the bakery, so I start early in the morning, so I was that shift anyway, so my mornings can start from 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So I was on my tea break, and I had a missed call on my phone about 8:30 in the morning. I think it would have been 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. It would have been, because my doctor's surgery doesn't open till 8, and obviously they need to look at the results and everything. The doctor does. Anyway, so my doctor wanted me to come in on the Tuesday, and made room for me to come and see him. And I don't know, I went in thinking that I don't really when I look back at it, like, I felt pretty numb leading up to the doctor's appointment, and like, there was, I don't know, I sort of felt like I knew what I was expecting, but, you know, obviously I hoped that it wasn't gonna happen. I then proceeded, and then I went and saw him, and he said, there's no heartbeat, and you're likely to miscarriage. You will be going into a miscarriage. And I just lost it. It was, my heart just broke. Sorry. Didn't think it was going to be this hard to feel this. Yeah, so my heart just broke, and I then I was then worried about what the next plan was. They'd booked me into Rosewood. Rosewood is a women's clinic up at our local hospital. So it's basically when they booked me in, I had to wait 3 weeks, because that was the earliest appointment, because it's a public hospital, and, like, we don't have where we are, there's no sort of private sort of clinics that would be able to do it, to see me for this specific reason. So I had to wait the 3 weeks, and that was absolute hell. And torture. I think I cried almost every day. And I had a lot of time off work because I would just get to the car park and burst into tears. I hated seeing, like, I envied seeing people that had I envied seeing people that, you know, had like newborn babies, and as you do when you experience this, you're grieving for the life that you were going to have, like, with this little miracle. And then oh, sorry. Anyway, I got into the Rosewood Clinic, and that was in it was in October. Basically, I got in to see him. So I think it was about a 3-week wait. I'm pretty sure it was 2.5 to 3 weeks that I had to wait to get in to see them. And I did get the option of if I wanted to pass it naturally, and they'd given me it like that. Basically, they were hoping in that 3 weeks that I would experience a miscarriage naturally. Obviously, natural is the best way to do it, but that didn't happen. I had a lot of cramping and I was very nauseous, and because my body still my levels, my HCG levels were still really high, so my body still thought I was pregnant. So I still had, you know, your symptoms of you saw boobs, and I had like just nausea and food aversion, obviously, and just all the fun stuff that, you know, just kept reminding you, oh yeah, that's right, you actually are pregnant, but your body's making you believe you are. Not believe you are, but you know what I mean. So I got into my appointment, and the doctor, you know, apologized, you know, obviously what people do, and he said to me, so would you like the to have a tablet so that you know, in the next 24 to 48 hours you will pass it naturally, or would you like to have a DNC, which is a dilation and curate, if you don't know what that is. A lot of people, I think it must be in overseas, like, because I'm in Australia, so a lot of people, like on the miscarriage support groups and that, don't actually know what a DNC is, so that's what that is if you don't know. Then so I chose a DNC for personal reasons. I just wanted to go to sleep and wake up and it'd be over. I didn't, like, I was that mentally, I wasn't right mentally, and I couldn't, you know, personal reasons. Everyone, you know, people choose to do each method personally, you know, what they feel they would like to do, and that's the path that I went down. So I saw him on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. I can't remember which day the 2nd of October was, but it was either Tuesday or Wednesday. So I chose DNC. He gave me the paperwork and asked me to go sit in the waiting room to fill it all out. And I said, that's fine, like, you know, filling it out, crying, filling it out. And then he calls me back in and he goes, I didn't realise that your ultrasound was 3 weeks ago. Like, there may be a chance that you, like, maybe it was too early. and that's why they couldn't see, like, you know, that's why there was no fetal pole. They couldn't see the fetal pole because it was, you know, too small. And so they sent me for another ultrasound. So I had it in the back of my mind, oh, maybe I am pregnant. Like maybe I was early. So I got my hopes up again, which I shouldn't have. I went for the ultrasound. They got me in as early as they could. So it was either the Wednesday or the Thursday. I got in for an emergency ultrasound, and then it was a same result. So there was no heartbeat at all. So then that started me all over again with like just it was bad. It was pretty bad. So and then they started the paperwork again for me. So I went back and saw him then on the Friday. Then they started me on the paperwork again. I had to go into pre-admissions and get basically the surgery forms so that they could because they put you under anesthesia so they put you under anesthetic to do that. I don't know if everyone gets the same, or if you don't know if it's different in different countries or different states of Australia or whatever, but they put me to sleep, which was what I wanted. And I got in. So after the appointment on the Friday, after I put all my paperwork in, they called me later that day and said, oh, sorry, they didn't call me. Well, they did, but so they booked me in. The earliest appointment was the Tuesday, which would have been I think it would have been the 8th. I don't know if that was a Monday or a Tuesday, I can't remember, sorry. It would have been the 8th of October. And I was fine with that, all good. And then I got a phone call a bit later that day to say, look, we could get you in on Monday morning. First thing, come in and we'll get the ball rolling. So that was all good. I went in and had my DNC. It was a lot of tears, a lot of anxiety waiting to go in and go under to have it done. Sorry, my dogs are out there. So and then I had 2 weeks of I would say about a week and a half of bleeding, maybe 2 weeks. It wasn't the first week was very heavy bleeding, like not that, you know, you're rushing to the toilet every half an hour to do it, but it was a lot of clots and stuff like that. And then so the bleeding stopped, and then we waited until basically waiting for my period to start again. In that period of time, I was having a lot of pain in my abdomen. I had another ultrasound just to confirm that they got everything, because that is one of the risks of a DNC. Also with natural as well, sometimes you don't actually pass the whole baby, or the whole, you know, the stuff can be left behind. But they did the ultrasound and everything was fine. I actually confirmed that I was going that one of my ovaries was getting ready to release an egg, so that was obviously what was causing the pain. Also, they said it could have been a lot of sores and stuff that I had in my uterus that could have been as the result of from the DNC, which could be causing the pain. Anyway, the pain went away. 5 weeks to the day of my DNC, I had my first period, and lasted 4 days. So that was the 11th of November this month. And then so successful period. and now we're just giving it a couple of months until we start trying again. We needed to heal mentally, and I needed to heal physically as well, because a lot of women don't like I've found with on the miscarriage support sites, they're as soon as they stop bleeding, they try again. But look, each to their own. I'm not saying no, you shouldn't do that, or this is the way you should do that. It's every woman's right to do and to experience what they're going through in their own way. So I'm a true believer in that. I needed, like myself, I needed to heal mentally and physically, and so is my husband. We both needed to heal, because it's not just you that is grieving. It's can also be depending on your situation or what it is. The second party, which is my husband in this case, he needed to heal as well. So yeah, that was my story. I'm sorry I got a little bit emotional during that. Obviously it's still a bit raw for me. I don't necessarily feel like it affects me as much until I have to talk about. I know I didn't have to make this video whatsoever, but miscarriage is very rarely talked about. I've found it's a bit taboo, basically. People don't like talking about it. It's because you get so many comments, which I know, like, if you've been through this, you'll understand this. People mean the best, but sometimes the words that they say, it doesn't help at all. Comments like, it was for the best, or it wasn't, it's not, obviously not the right time, and you can always try again, and many more. Like, I'm lucky in the fact that I've had such a great support group and network. Like, friends and family have been absolutely amazing to me and my husband. But I've found that on the miscarriage support groups that are on Facebook and that, which are great to talk to be able to talk to someone that has experienced it, it does, because they understand. Like, if you haven't experienced it, you don't quite understand the gut-wrenching pain that the person or yourself would be going through. But in most cases, some people, I just can't believe the way they've been talked to, and it's just absolutely unacceptable to be talked to in a manner, and just the comments that some of these ladies are getting from family and good friends. It's just it's just disgusting. Even bosses that they're talking to these women, and just if you've been on those sites, you'll understand what I mean, because it not only makes the person that has experienced the miscarriage angry, it makes you who has had one absolutely furious and wanting anyway. In what I'm trying to say is, if you're watching this as in to get words on how, advice on how to actually talk to someone who has experienced a miscarriage, and you haven't personally had one, it's just a close family or friend that's experiencing it, just choose your words. Be careful what you say. Be there for them and you know, whatever they need, like obviously be there for them, but just remember that little comments like, oh, you could always try again, or you know, that really there's nothing that you can say that can make the situation better, really. Just being there for them and supporting them, like I said, is really what they really need. They don't need snarky comments or, you know, just hurtful comments at all, really. But yeah, so that's my story. So I hope that this has helped you in some way. So I'm going to be following, basically filming when we start again, and you know, the process if we do get pregnant again. So if you would like to follow me, and plus I'm going to be doing a lot of other different videos. It's not going to be all sad and sultry. If you would like me to talk about something, absolutely please put something down in the bottom of the comments, and I will check, and I'll write back to you, and we can, you know, be a little support group. And also, it's not going to be sad videos, and we're going to do some fun stuff. And maybe if you want some help on working out like when ovulation is, and you know, videos like that, I would absolutely love to be able to help you in order to, you know, to figure this sort of stuff out. Because like what I said at the beginning, it's a pretty big, like, to get your mind around what's happening, and how your body works to get into for you know, for your body to work to release that egg. It's the human body is absolutely amazing. It's such a crazy thing when you look into it. Anyway, so I really hope that you like and subscribe to, with my channel and this video. And again, please below if there's something that you want me to do or talk about, or you know, even just to say hi, because you know, I'd love to say hi to you. Hopefully someone watches this and it helps them. Anyway, just remember that you are awesome and that you are a legend, and don't forget that. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.